Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands and welcome to an SP Patrons video that I'm making for Gill as part of their custom monthly music review. And if we switch over to here, we have ourselves a track by Nathan Hartono titled Infinity. Official lyric video featured AI generated art. Man, this has just been a fun day for stuff, dude. I've got to review a few really cool tracks. One indie band came in with a song that blew my socks off, figuratively, of course. There's no wind in the studio. But we've got like this video here. It says, the following lyric video was created with AI generated artwork, prompted only by using the lyrics you see on the screen. As these were lyrics and not literal prompts, things are about to get a little weird. Let's go, let's do it. Let's listen through this track from start till finish and hear what we think. Let's go, what do we got? I'm keen for this, eh? What do you got for us this month, Gill? Infinity. No, I don't think we need to have the Motorsports Festival down here, thank you very much. I love the sound of the drums and the sparkly synths and that quick groove there. The tempo is wonderful. I will be honest, it is kind of difficult to see the lyrics in the video. I mean, obviously this is a bad example because you can clearly read them here without my big old head in the way. But at the same time, in some of the sections, the white was quite similar to the gray or the cream of the color scape of it. But I think that's to kind of make it fit in well with the image to show the correlation between them. I mean, like, he's a really fantastic singer, comfortable in his head voice. I like a little bit of articulation, additional bits of zazz with the hi-hats there alongside the guitar and drum parts kind of rising up. Oh, interesting panning of that synth on the left side there with that filtering there on the pedal notes. What the hell is going on here? This scares me, man. The images like this scare me, dude. This is how a computer sees art, dude. I like the fact that he's heaven only knows if it's all a dream. Like he's harmonizing on the 7th or something like that in the progression. Maybe he's actually harmonizing on the 3rd. Never mind. That's a pretty way to finish it, though. It's good to finish a melody or a line on a part of the triad there to keep it clean and sounding. It's a really great way to have a sense of closure with that, you know. Nice resonance to that bass and low and fiddling around the scales. Sorry if I'm not here lately. Sorry if I'm out of place. It's a little overwhelming. Think the world is ending. Come along and watch me crumble backwards. I mean, like I enjoy the use of the backing vocals, the breathy style there in that bridge section. The drum beat remains kind of consistent there to add a sense of cohesiveness and smoothness to it. He moves and shifts into the upper range to instantiate a sense of difference. Oh, cool. So he's added an extra sequencer on the background? With like lots of automation of the panning there, there's constant attention to detail, and you can tell he really cares about the music he's making because he's put so many little Easter eggs inside of it. Sorry, I wanted to pause there as well because I'm sure you could hear maybe if you weren't wearing headphones, because headphones you can isolate and hear the real big sub layers or the real quiet sub layers, but went that side and then that side with the extra layer. I was expecting that call and response there, but I was not expecting the extra falsetto one on the right, dude. The guy did that to kind of layer over into the next half of the chorus, and I think that was dope, dude. That was cool. Oh, are we going to continue with it? We are continuing with the guitar solo as a sub layer. We're going to be more prominent with it. Heaven only knows if it's all a dream is interesting. It's because I think this track is exploring the fact that we are simply blips in a timeline that never stops. I know that's a conclusion thing, but I kind of love the philosophical debates that a track like this could spark, you know? I think this is one of my favorite tracks that I've reviewed for an SP Patron video. The guy's clearly a talented and, you know, intelligent dude who's got creative stuff that he wants to chat about. I think this is one of the most clever and useful uses of AI art here, because it kind of matches well. The video matches well with the concept of infinity. Like, you have infinite possibilities. Probably not necessarily infinite, but it's seemingly infinite possibilities of where the art can take you, so much so that it will probably always be predictable, aside from the fact that you're using a prompt. And then, of course, we get to the point where AI can do stuff without being prompted, and then that's going to be a wild time. But this is my conclusion to my review of Infinity, a track by Nathan Hartono. What do I think this track is about? Well, I mean, as I think I was talking about before, I think it is about someone looking at humanity as it is, who they are, you know, moving forward, loving and living and keeping going until you're gone, and not wanting to give up that, you know, all the wars and battles that are being faced, all the chaos around Earth at the moment, all the tensions and toils and all the difficulties, but wanting to sort of keep going at it simply for the fact that we will still have a life and that it's still worth living regardless of it, you know, because that life is our infinity, if you think about it. Our existence on this earth is only as infinite as our time on it. You know, we will have no idea of it, because heaven only knows if we'll be able to see beyond it, right? I think that's such a beautiful line. I think it's such a beautiful thing to talk about. It's one of the most unique concepts that I've heard about in quite a while. And it's so refreshing, dude. I want people to make more music like this, because it's so cool to discuss stuff outside of relationships and, oh, I don't like this person, and man, you know, addiction bad. And none of that's bad stuff to write music about, but it's just been done. And I reviewed like hundreds, if not thousands, of songs about this kind of stuff. So as a reviewer, I like stories like this which go in different directions. And if they're well told, and if the lyrics are vivid, and I would understand it regardless of whether or not there was a video, I'm sure I'd probably be down with it, you know? It's just that the music video is like the icing on the cake, which is what it should be. The song should be enough. The video should be the thing that is the icing on the cake, because at the end of the day, if someone buys a CD, they can't watch a CD they can't watch a video on a CD, can they? You know, that's a DVD-ROM. For those of you who don't know what a DVD-ROM is, dude, it's crazy. Again, I'm not being like the old man yells at clouds thing. I think technology is great to a certain extent, but anyways, I'm not going to invalidate that. Actually, I don't know why I said but. I think technology is great. But yeah, I mean, obviously there's issues with AI art and the people stealing artwork to prompt the AI to learn from it. That the stealing of artwork is obviously shit. And as an artist, I dislike that, but outside of that, you know, the fact we can people can make music like this and videos like this is kind of cool regardless. It's a tricky thing. Anyways, moving on. Nathan's vocals were great. He's a talented singer, very confident in his head and chest voice, charismatic and easy to listen to, smoothness, great use of different falsetto parts as well as his regular kind of voice there to kind of like sift through the different ranges he was comfortable with. And he knew how to make a catchy hook melody whilst also having enough sort of range there in those chorus and verse and bridge and interlude sections to keep things engaging and interesting. So smart stuff, you know. I'd listen to this guy any day of the week. He's great. I think that in addition to that, what we had going on, you know, not only with the vocals, but also the structure of the track itself, you know, it was fantastic because you not only had the vocals being pan left and right there to kind of spin around it, you also had lovely decisions going on with the synth parts and the drums and the bass and some of the lead guitar bits there and pads and other sorts of bit of foley there and samples. And it did have a sort of futuristic sparkle to it, you know. The overall motif had a sense of optimism to it despite all the chaos and stuff going on. There was never really a point in the track where I heard, this doesn't sound like we're going to get through it. This sounds like even if there's animosity or trepidation, that we're going to continue moving forward and do that regardless. So I'm very thankful and very happy that we took this direction because it can be very easy to be scared of what we don't understand, right? But there's typically or most of the time two sides to the coin. And I think that the theme represented the vocals and the story well, you know. The performance, I mean, the drums were always upbeat, up tempo the whole time, driving forward, dun, 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 with an eighth note groove on the hi-hats. Maybe some variations of 16s, but the chord note groove was strong there. Bassline propelling us forward and tight with the percussion. And little sparkly synth leads as well, dancing across the stereo field as he kind of sang his thing. And like, you know... And there were all these kind of fun harmonies with the pads as well, spinning around the place. And we had like sort of synth sequences spinning around sometimes. Other filtered synth leads there, which added to that futuristic kind of vibe there, which again, the track was sort of purporting to, you know. So I understood the connection between the different elements there, tonally in the arrangement and composition. There was a clear understanding of music theory and composition from Nathan Hartono and everyone else involved, and I think that they're an excellent musician, and I want to hear more from them. So if anyone wants to let me know about other tracks I'd recommend from Nathan, please leave a message in the comment, you know? But I think there was enough space in the composition with how things were panned, with how things were stacked in a frequency spectrum, despite the busyness of some of those sequences sections with the 16ths and the high tempo, to allow for Nathan to still be the kind of focal point throughout for the most part, and I liked that a lot. I think that was great, you know. It's a catchy as hell single, talking about some really heavy stuff, so I think that you couldn't have really strayed away too far from the vocals, but he did do some fun stuff with the position of them in the stereo field to kind of make them pop around, and it was, it had a great energy to it, as I've said many times before. It was really engaging to listen to as a listener, and I'm sure a lot of people probably feel the same about his music too. You know, again, great use of this platform and new technology. The zaniness kind of matches the video, if you know what I mean. But the studio recording, you know, mixing and mastering was fantastic. I like the tone of his voice there. It's commercial grade. Nice filtering EQing there. The drums, bass, synth, pads, etc. and the guitar parts. However brief they were, you know, they were fine as well. You know, nicely filtered. Tightly controlled, leveled in the mix. Nicely panned in the stereo field. There were lots of automation of the position of them as such, and maybe some volume automation occasionally as well. There was no weird frequencies in the frequency spectrum, no weird like resonances there, so that was good. And then finally, you know, with the dynamic range that was there, you know, given that it was still like meant to be a tightly sort of like mixed, you know, single, there was still some dynamic range there. Things didn't feel too tight, and it was nice and loud without pumping. That's effectively my review of this SP Patron review. My review of this SP Patron review of this track by Nathan Hartono, titled Infinity. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please do go show them some love via their various social medias and YouTube page. And stay cool and stay safe. And please remember to support your local musicians and artists. At this point in time, as they need the help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. And I'll catch you in the next SP Patrons. Sorry, I'm still getting better. But no, I was a bit sick on the weekend, so I'm still getting better. Spiderhands Out.